Quote number 1. Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. This means that faith is actually about showing trust and confidence in something when you don't even know what the path you are going to travel on will be. This is actually true for every path you take in life. There is always the fear of unknown when you are starting out. But people who are able to conquer this fear are the real champions, and they become successful later in their life. For example, a writer who is just starting out to write the first scene of a novel, he or she has no clue about how the novel will shape out and whether readers, who are interested in novels, will read his or her novel. Novel writing is actually a difficult process, and it is like a gigantic staircase which takes a long time. But every long journey begins with a single step. So writers should be excited throughout the process, and specifically at the beginning if they are actually interested in creating something meaningful. The thing to understand in this is that every journey in life is unpredictable. One thing to understand is that you should have belief and courage in yourself no matter what journey you are starting in life, so that you keep moving in life. Quote number 2. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. This means that our enemies always tend to criticize us and pull us down. They pass on belittling and derogatory remarks. But all these do not hurt as much as the silence of friends. When friends do not encourage or stand with you, that is something that hurts you for the rest of your life. It is often said that real friends are always with you in times of crisis. But it is actually emotionally painful when friends turn their backs on you. For example, when you try to start something of your own, people try to ridicule you. In case of your enemies or people that don't matter in your life, you are not concerned at all because you don't bother what they say. In case of friends or family members that matter the most in your life, if they say something to you or try to demotivate you, it hurts a lot. One thing to learn is that we should not be bothered about the remarks made by enemies and give attention and think about the words of our friends, because even if they say something bad about us, they do that for our betterment. Quote number 3. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. This means that the only cure to darkness is light. Similarly, the only way to cure hate is love. Spreading hate multiplies it, and spreading love also multiplies it. Love conquers all. But it cannot be forced on anyone. Love is actually oneness, because hate is division. If you hate someone or something, it actually means that you are not one with it. If we relate to something or someone, we are actually in love with it. The learning that we get from this quote is that we should always spread love and try to multiply love in our life, so that we can actually learn to love our enemy and maybe one day able to wipe out the hate from the hearts of our enemies. Quote number 4. A genuine leader is not a searcher for consensus but a molder of consensus. This means that a real leader actually knows the art to develop consensus in a community rather than looking for it. He or she actually knows the art of persuasion and has the skill to understand the psyche of a certain community. In history, all the commanding leaders, who led their armies in big battles, actually possessed the wisdom to develop the bond between the different soldiers of the army. They were able to invoke consensus in the army rather than trying to find it. One learning from this quote is that a leader should be wise enough to create consensus among the community so that a sense of unity is developed, and together the community can bring a meaningful change in the society. Quote number 5. Almost always, the creative dedicated minority has made the world better. This means that people who are in creative careers are actually ones who make the world a better place to live. Creative careers are very challenging and take a long time to establish. Creative work is basically a form of art that always gives something new and contributes well to the society. People in the world are always in search of something new and creative which is artistic. For example, filmmaking is a creative process which requires working on multiple levels together in a team. But there are certain kinds of movies that create a huge impact on the viewers. Some contain messages which can actually shake the minds of the viewers. All of this is a time-taking process, but it is very effective in bringing a change in the society because today access to movies and TV series is very easy. One learning from this quote is that we should encourage those who are in creative careers, and if we are interested in something creative ourselves, we should go ahead and try it out. Quote number 6. Everything that we see is a shadow cast by that which we do not see. This means that everything that we see around us is kind of a reflection of our own mind. All things that we experience are experienced through our own spectrum of mind. This spectrum includes our memory, conditioning, past experiences, biases, flaws, our aspirations, our motivations, etc. Other than this, there is a lot of genetic code stored in us. That is why it is often said that genetics play a huge role in how you look physically and how you behave. Not just sight, but whatever we conceive through other senses is also somewhat a shadow of something hidden in our conscious, subconscious, and unconscious mind. For example, all people have a certain taste of music which has been developed by listening to a lot of different songs in the past. And in the future also you are attracted to the same kind of songs. One important thing to understand is that we should not try to see things according to our own mind. We should see reality as it is and then act.